Welcome back. This is day 3
of the week of Votann.
Of the week of Votann. Not like Justin said yesterday, the days of Votann.
Days.
Oh man, days of our lives. Yeah, this is, we're going to be ranking. There's not a lot here to rank.
It's going to be literally 12 units.
Yeah, it's not going to be that long of a stream, but let's do it. This is going to be fun. As you see, I have my Buffalo Bills gear on today because today the season kicks off and these guys are Super Bowl favorites right now.
They are?
Yeah, since the last time they were Super Bowl favorites was 1992 or 1991. So you weren't even born yet.
I wasn't even born yet. Yeah, go throw the football. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go home. My wife's gonna be making all the food tonight, all the nachos and things like that. And my daughter's gonna be a little cheerleader. It's gonna be her second season watching the Bills. She has no choice. This is her team. But let's get to these guys here. The Votann. So let's start with the obvious one, the first guy in the book. What's your first impression? You played this army now a few times now.
Yeah.
You didn't use him though at all.
I didn't play his league. I played the toughness one.
Yeah.
Which I forget the name, but it wasn't the Great Arthurian League.
Nope.
I kind of regret that because
it's good.
After the way they talked yesterday about him, all the buffs he can do, and then we thought up to get one judgment on them free, easy. For the mag rail, and then just make it a 6 to hit, which is a 6 to wound. And I did get a 6 to wound with that mag rail, and I got a judgment with it. Oh my god, the carryover damage.
Yep.
And most units in the army can get some type of rail.
So do you agree with me that that league is probably the best?
Maybe, if not just for him, but also their abilities.
So, like you said, with that league, which is the Great Arthurian League, he's a must-take, I think.
Yeah.
He gives them like the auto nuke and like all that stuff. You can just give one unit the auto 6, right? That's his warlord trait. Is it the warlord trait that allows that?
No, it's built in.
It's built in, even better.
Yeah. I don't know what his warlord trait has to be, but it doesn't matter because auto 6
is built in right here. I think I really like him. I don't think he's an auto take.
He is 30 points more than the normal high call. What is that? He's 70 points more than a normal call, but that's kind of worth it. He has a lot of good abilities. I'm
gonna say he's a. If you're playing Great Arthurian League, take him.
Yeah.
There's no reason not to. He gives you this, but if you're not, you don't get the ancestral fortune here, right? Which is it's pretty good. It's not like he's not good without it, but that's a big thing that you're going to take him when you play Great Arthurian League, right?
Yeah.
So for that, in my mind, I have him as top of strong right now. Obviously, there's nothing else on here. I don't have him in a must take. Those tournament standard, you're not going to see him in every single Votann detachment. Maybe you'll see him a lot because Great Arthurian League is probably going to be, I think, the most played or one of the most played. So maybe he will be. This is you can go both ways with this. If you think Arthurian League is going to be I think they're going to be played a lot. So
they're definitely going to be used a lot. I still think the toughness or the info one might get used more. It depends what armies are going to be meta. As of now, I think we can put him top of strong and be safe to say if you see a lot of Great Arthurian League, he's going to be in every single list. Yeah. If you don't, if it's going to be a mixture of stuff right off the bat, top of strong because he's still going to be seen quite a bit. So let's put him at top of strong. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, he is on the cusp of tournament standard. Tournament standard is, if you put him in tournament standard right now, I wouldn't debate you. I would say yeah. I'd say strong though, just because not every league can use him.
Not every league can use him, so for that I agree with you. Let's throw him down to strong, which is still A tier. If you brought him into a non-Arthurian league, he's still good. He's just a little bit.
Can you bring him in a non one?
Can you?
Because all the sub-faction has to be the same.
Oh, that's right. You can't even bring him.
That's why.
Yeah, because he's a high call.
He's a high call.
Yeah.
And he has the faction keyword of Great Arthurian League.
So you need to, so then
that's what I'm saying.
So he's a strong, yeah.
That's why I'm saying strong.
He's not situational because you're going to see the Great Arthurian League a lot. He's a strong take. That sucks for people that like him because you're not going to be able to use him unless you take Great Arthurian League. So are they telling us something here? Maybe saying if he's our only,
the only named character.
He's a greater call. Maybe take this league. They're a little bit better. But we'll see what people want to do. Like you said, the toughness one that Justin likes, he wants to run a lot of vehicles and boost all the toughness. That's a really good one. You like the invuln one because you like to
spam bikes. I'm leaning more towards the toughness now.
Okay, so
I did a game with the toughness one, and wow, it was against clowns, and it did make a big difference. Wounding in like now in 5s and 6s instead of 4s and 5s, and I think you're right that does make a big difference over just having an invuln.
It does. It does.
If I was fighting Eldar, then I would say the invuln one's better because of Hail of Doom.
Why so? Why?
Because if they go to AP4,
yeah,
now the invulns get used.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, different strat. There's so many strats that you can do with these guys. Like this, like you're not really wrong. It's just going to depend on what you're doing, basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, like we've play tested a bunch in the last couple of weeks, but there's so much more we want to do. It's like let's try this, and it's like, you know what I mean? It's really fun. This Codex is really fun. It's short, it's stumpy, but it's
yeah. Only 12. They only have 12.
They have 12 units,
and one of them is a named character that's locked to a league.
Yeah.
But there's still so much you can do.
There's so much you can do. Yeah. Bringing us to our spellcaster, Grimnir.
Grimnir.
I think he's
amazing.
He's awesome. Like you can buff your units. His spells are really good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like the one Justin was talking about yesterday, you don't even know. There was one where he can basically, or one of the spells is I forgot what the name is. I think it's something.
Grudge Fire is the one.
No, I'm talking about the Hex. The
one where you kill a model.
No. I'm talking about the turning off the invuln.
Null Vortex.
Null Vortex. Yeah, it's basically null zone, but it doesn't affect your unit. You pick a unit, and you don't need line of sight. You don't need line of sight. You can just hide him behind a building, and he's just going to be like, that over there, 12 inches away, no invuln on those Terminators or on that unit there. That's crazy.
I think the worst part of this model is you only get 2 spells, and if you upgrade them to 3 spells, there's so many good spells. I would just have trouble.
Fortify is great. Yeah. I mean, Fortify is very useful. You get a 6-up, feel no pain. You get your
extra toughness.
It's a great spell to have, especially with such a tanky army. And he has those corvs that he flies around with him. They take mortal wound from perils.
They don't take the mortal wounds.
They don't?
They eat the mortal wounds.
They eat
the perils. So even it doesn't matter
what you just don't suffer perils.
Yeah. If you perils, I did perils. You just get rid of one of the drones.
Oh, that's all that's happened. Okay.
Yeah. Even if you don't have to roll the mortal wounds because the drone's dead.
It just dies. So he can do that twice then.
Yeah.
Wow. Which you're not going to perils more than twice. If you perils more than twice in a game, that's on you.
It's more like extra wounds, just so that if you get shot by a las cannon, all right, robot jump in front, Tau drum.
So he can do that twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. Like I said, his spells, his abilities. He's got a 4-up invuln. He's not as tough as some of the other characters we have here. He's only tough T4, but for everything he throws at you, he's a must-take.
Yes.
In this army. Like, how do you not run this guy? I want like 3 of them. I'm going like Eldar. I want to run 3 of them. He's named, so you can't.
Well, it's not named.
He's not named?
The Grimnir is
that's just their caster, okay.
That's the name of the caster.
Beautiful.
Yeah, they're living ancestors.
Yeah, because he's just a character.
It's just a character. I would say take
Shield
2.
Crest.
I only took 1.
Grimnir. Okay.
But yeah, you're going to spend more time thinking what spells you want to take than you're going to spend building the list because they are all good.
Yeah, he's so good.
Upgrade him. It's only 25 points. You get an extra spell. You get +1 to your cast if there's I think someone with
This is where I'm putting him?
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Tournament standard, I think we both agree on this. There's no way you're not going to take this guy. He just brings too much to the table.
And just having a Psyker in your army is good.
And honestly, we've seen the models up front and up close. It's such a nice model to have. If you're not playing Space Doors, just buy this model to have and put them on your shelf.
I love the awesome white hair. When I was watching the Nova Open reveal, and they made it look like actual fuzzy hair on a plastic model. I don't know how they did it.
Oh, really? I didn't see that head. He has 2 heads, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Bringing us to our next unit, the champion.
I don't like him at all.
You don't like him at all?
No.
I like the guard, the Hearth Guard.
Hearth Guard, yeah.
I like what the Hearth Guard can do. We spoke about it a little bit yesterday, teleporting them around with the stratagem, being able to do R&D with that. And then there's another strat that you can basically turn them into Dire Avengers where they can do an action and still shoot.
Yeah.
And then he was talking about, it's not Volkite, we'll get to it later what they have, but it's similar with Mortal Wound spam. And I think he can be really good with that unit.
You know why I don't think so?
Why?
he gives reroll once to the Hearthguard around him. Mm-hmm. The call already does that. There's already stratagems to do that. There's already other ways to do that.
But can you get the call to deep strike with them?
No, you can't. It's just, I don't know.
He can go with them. He's basically made to function with them.
With one unit of them.
Yeah. With one unit. That's what I'm talking about.
You can't get them all over the board.
No, one unit. One unit functioning as that teleporting unit jumping around everywhere, and he goes with them.
But now you're forced to pick between giving him an invuln or teleporting him.
I don't think the invuln's that important for him. And the way I'm going to use him, he's going to teleport in for that first one with them, and then they're going to move and do that same thing somewhere else, and then he's there to do whatever he can do with another unit.
If he gets into melee, though,
he's great.
He can be targeted.
Yeah.
So
he's not that expensive. Like, what's the amount of points for him?
I don't know.
I know we're both going to be on different pages with this guy because you don't like him and I like him.
He's a melee blender.
Yeah.
But there's other ways to buff your...
He's 90 points.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's not that much. For what he can do, he's going to give that whole unit rerolls.
Of ones.
Yeah. And then hits really hard in close combat. You can take a relic on him too, which he's doing mortals.
That hammer you talked about. Yeah.
So he can nuke. He can go in with that unit, help them do that initial drop down and give them that better firepower. Then they leave, blink somewhere else, and he sticks there and nukes something with his mortal wound hammer or relic weapon.
I don't know. I'd rather put his points somewhere else. I'm not a fan of him.
I'm going to try it on you and make you a fan of that.
You have convinced me with a lot of stuff. I used to have a completely different play style with the dwarves.
Yeah.
And he told me a lot, like the toughness stuff, how good I used to not like the transport. Now I love the transport.
And Anthony's super, super stubborn. So I have to literally be like, okay, come with me. Let's go to the table. And I have to physically take dice out, put models on the table and be like, do you understand now? And then he's like, I still don't get it, but I will try it. And I know I got him at that point because he won't admit it, but I know when he says he's going to try it, that means he believes me. So I think I'm going to make you believe this.
Make me a believer?
I'm going to make you a believer. But where do you have him? Let's make this like.
I would put him at best, situational.
I don't disagree with that. I think I have him as mid to maybe below mid, like bottom strong. I still think he's a strong choice, but you and Justin both believe he's a situational thing. I don't think you need him 100%. I just think it would be nice to do that with him. Yeah. So I agree with you. Let's put him in top of situational though.
It's 90 points. You could
He's top of situational, okay?
Top of situational, that's fine. It's just 90 points you could put building to a different play style where you don't need him.
I can see where you guys are coming from, and I spoke with Justin a bunch last night, so I see where you guys are coming from. I like him a lot. Justin likes him a lot. You don't like him.
I'm neutral on him. I didn't use him yet.
Well, we spoke about him yesterday in our live stream. If you watched yesterday's long live stream, people complained about the first. Not complained, but they were saying the first one when we dove into the mechanics and in the leagues, it was kind of short. It was only like 30 minutes. But we're like, wait for tomorrow because we're going to really deep dive. And yesterday, if you watch that stream, we talk about all the things you can do with him.
With the Iron Master.
The Iron Master,
Sorry, we didn't say his name yet.
Yeah, the Iron Master. He's basically a tech marine.
Yep.
With some perks and he gets some guys with him, some robots that travel with him. The unit itself is really good because he heals he fixes your vehicles. Okay.
More than just the vehicles, I'm pretty sure he could heal the Hearthguard type units or the Thunderkin. Let's see.
I thought it was just vehicles.
No.
League core or league. Okay, this is a.
Just at the starting next to you.
Unit contains.
No, that's add 1 to the hit roll, which is really nice.
Yep.
Vehicle or exoframe he can heal.
Oh wow!
So I'm pretty sure exoframe is the Thunderkin.
The Thunderkin. So.
Yeah, because these are the Hearthguard are exo armor.
So they can heal. He can heal them as well. But are you going to bring him up there with them?
We'll see. We'll see when we get to the Thunderkin.
Because he can bring back D3 models as well.
No.
No?
He can. There's a stratagem with the warriors when we get there that if they have a med pack, it's only 5 points. So you're going to take it. You can deny one one damage.
Yeah.
So you just turn it to damage 0, and you can revive D3 warriors.
D3 warriors come back, and that's a strat.
That's a strat. That's 1 command point.
Yeah, worth it. That is pretty good, but what's better with him is you can take his Warlord trait.
You need to upgrade, spend 25 points to upgrade the Iron Master.
Yeah.
Automatically heal basically 4.
He heals 3 automatically, plus 1 if he has the cog with his units with him.
The assistant?
Yeah.
No, if he has the ECOG, okay.
The ECOG. So if the ECOG is there, he heals an extra 1. That's 4. You're healing automatic 4 per turn, and then Justin made an amazing point yesterday. He also gives 1 vehicle. Is it 1 vehicle unit he can count as plus 1 to hit, or is it core as well?
Or core. So you could do it to the Hearthguard.
He can give 1 unit plus 1 to hit.
Yep.
And on top of it, heal 4 to a vehicle, or a Thunderkin, or sorry, a frame model. So basically the Hearthguard.
Hearthguard or Exo Armor.
Exo Armor, so he can't heal them?
No.
So what's the Exo frame?
The Thunderkin.
Thunderkin, that's right, yeah.
I know, it's weird. They have Exo Armor and Exo frame.
Yeah.
And then they have like call, high call. It's just
so
a bunch
the
of
Warriors,
words somewhere.
The Warriors don't get the med pack.
No, they get the med pack.
The med pack, and then the Thunderkin get
this guy.
exactly.
The Iron Master.
So plus 1 to hit to one of those units.
Yep.
And healing automatic 4 with the Warlord trait and the upgrade, obviously. But Justin pointed out he has 4 other people and 4 other models in that.
The squad.
And his healing only has to be within range of the unit.
Right.
So you can put, if you want to, let's say you have 2 units you want to buff, or one has to be healed and you want to buff the other one. You can put him here, heal this unit, string out, you're healing this unit, string out your unit like this, and
heal the next one.
Heal the next one. Not heal the next one.
Or buff.
Because one is an aura, right? He has to be within a certain amount of range to give the buff, the plus 1.
Yep.
The other one just has to be in range of the unit. So you can put him where you need the buff. Like, let's say you want to give this land fortress plus 1 to hit.
Yep.
He goes right beside it, 3 inches away. Then you string out the unit all along, 2 inches from each model, 5 of them, right? Is it 5? Yep. And over here can get you like this far, like 9 inches, 10 inches. This unit can be healed.
For why that's a big deal, specifically with Grimnir, who has 3 models in the
unit. It's amazing.
Grimnir says it has to be this model doing the casting.
Yeah.
So you can't do the buff from the unit.
Yeah, no.
And it's just, wow.
I have him as strong. I have him as strong right now. I have him below our named guy here, but I think it's strong.
Him, but I see your points. He can do a lot.
Especially the fact that he can heal and give the plus 1. Where do you have him?
I'm just neutral on him. I didn't have a strong opinion on him before.
The Thunderkin stuff, I don't really care.
Yeah.
But he can heal vehicles.
The vehicles, 4 wounds on a vehicle is going to be major. That could take it out of a bracket easily.
Yeah, and then also the healing, and then also the plus 1.
Hit.
And then he can bring back warriors. If you have warriors back there on an objective, you have the med pack, you can do all that as well.
He doesn't bring back the warriors.
He doesn't?
No.
Oh, the warriors just have that? Built in with a stratagem. Okay, I get what you're saying.
Well, we'll get to the warriors soon, and then I'll explain it. I don't
you guys were using this guy.
Stacking stuff.
So this guy's strong. Let's put him strong.
I agree with that.
I think we were mentioning a lot of stuff. He's good. Like his weapons, we can go through his weapons if you really want to. This is not why.
I don't care about his weapons.
This is not why you take this guy.
Yeah.
You're not going to take him because you want to kill stuff. It's the other things, the little things he does in the backfield that make him so important. Let's move on.
A wound or two, but like.
Yeah. He's not there to kill. He's there to do other things.
Next is the bread and butter.
The bread and butter. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Like the call is going to be an automatic take, right?
You need one.
You need one. If you are Greater Thurian League and you take the greater call, you can still take one of these guys.
Yep.
So why not?
Yeah, I always have at least 2 in your detachment, a high call and a normal call.
For the rerolls alone.
Not even that, for the Grim Efficiency alone.
Yeah.
The Grim Efficiency is no range. It's just if you can see a unit, Judgment.
Take a sip of water here.
For the high call, his Warlord trait, and I would definitely say to give it to him, is you see a unit, Judgment, and then on a different unit he could see Judgment. That's 2 judgments. So with 3 calls, that's 3 judgments. Nothing saying you can't use one call and the other call to put on one guy. So you can put 2 judgment at the start of the game on someone.
Yeah. And it's, you explained that it's not like, there's no range on that. It's just like, I see you, you get judgment.
Yep.
That's great. I love that.
Yeah, don't click those just in case.
I don't know. I don't know any other unit.
Screen and click.
No, I know. I don't know any other unit that does that.
Oh, infinite range? I don't know.
Yeah.
Technically, my guard stuff has infinite
72
range.
inches, yeah, that's fine. But
not even 72 inches, just the basket was 240 inches.
Oh, no, yeah, that's just, I can shoot you on the other table plane over there. No, so I think he's an auto take. Do we have to really talk about it, that he's the only...
There's actually one important thing I noticed, with the call. With the Rampart Crest, I forgot about this, and Justin reminded me. He gives a 5+ invuln to core units around him.
Yeah.
And bikes.
Yeah, the 5-up, yeah.
So, yes, I really like the invuln league, but if you have like these guys, two, maybe 3 of these guys with another detachment spread around your army, you already have the 5-up invuln. You don't need the league.
don't need the league, yeah. And you can bring 2 of them.
You can bring 2.
You can bring a higher call and then a regular call.
And then I'd say another, like a patrol detachment or something with another one.
3 of them, yeah. You could have, you can get your 5+ invuln across army
wide. It's
easily
6 inches around him, which is pretty big, and the units are big.
You're not gonna get your 4-up for your Hearthguard, but if is that like, that's not a big deal.
Funny enough, with this guy, you can teleport him
and give him a 5-up anyways.
No, you can just teleport this guy. He gets the teleport crest like the champion.
Yep.
Which is another reason I don't really like the champion. He could go with the Hearthguard.
He can go with the Hearthguard.
Teleport crest.
He doesn't give them rerolls though.
He can. The high call does have an order for rerolls, and reroll hit rolls a 1.
Hit rolls a 1. Yeah.
And the high call can order rerolls, all rerolls.
Yeah, all rerolls. Yeah.
So it's like
the wounds.
I want to be right.
You want to be
stubborn.
Make attack. Reroll. Yeah. Okay. So I mean, either way, how many points is he? Let's go down to this.
The call is 70 points, and the upgrade to make him a high call is plus 40.
Plus
so
40.
110.
That's more expensive than the.
For a high call.
The champion, yeah.
But a high call is worth it.
Do they both get the teleport?
You have to pick. Same as the champion.
So you get the invuln or the teleport? Okay.
Yep. Same, yeah. A lot of these guys have a option to take an invuln, and sometimes it gives an extra wound or a teleport.
But either way, he gives the buff around him for a 5-up invuln, which is crazy. I have him just below. He's tournament standard, but I think the Grimnir is a lot better because he can just do like the casting, and he's more needed. But these are definite like staples. These are like, I see them as Farseers almost.
Farseers, yeah.
Like as in for like how important Farseers are for Eldar. These guys are that important for this army. You need them. You need like a couple of them.
I'd say he's a little bit more important than the Grimnir.
You think so? I don't agree with that.
He gives judgment out. That's really important.
Justin and I say different, so I think we're going to stay like this.
Yeah.
But he's definitely up there. Like he's tournament staple number 2. Like
different play styles.
There's not much much more to say about that.
Next up
is the first and last unit of the Codex.
It's not the Tanith first and only.
Troop choice, I mean.
Yeah, it's their only troop choice.
Yep.
Surprisingly enough, can go up to 20. And their page is so long. They have so many guns they can take.
Like you can customize these guys any way you want. I don't know why you would I wouldn't put too much effort into like giving them too many weapons because then it's going to get expensive, and they are not that cheap.
11 points a model.
But one thing we mentioned yesterday's stream again to mention that they do have a rail.
A rail gun.
Not a rail gun. They're not Tau.
No, it's a rail gun. It's a broadside rail gun.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, get out of here.
Look at it. It's a Magnum rail rifle.
Yeah,
it's one shot
Magnum
instead
rail,
of 2. Strength 9, AP 4, D3 plus
one
3
shot,
damage.
yeah.
Where do you see that? Broadsides, except broadsides are the railgun's 20 points.
You can take 2 of them if you have a unit of
20.
of 10.
Oh, 10?
Yeah. Because it's per 5, isn't it?
No.
Or is it per 10?
You can select up to 2 different options.
Oh, okay.
So one rail rifle and one other upgrade.
So 20, you could take 2 of them then.
Here's the difference though. These guys have judgment, which makes, I'd say, a better broadside gun, and that means the damage carries over.
Oh, damn.
They are literally little guys.
They do broadsides better.
Probably shorter than you watching this, walking around with a railgun better than the Tau's Dreadnought equivalent.
Yeah.
For cheaper.
That being said, they are the only troop choice, so how can you not say...
You need them, Rick. Every detachment needs a troop choice.
So you guys have them as strong. I have them as tournament standards because you're going to see them in every list.
But that's because you're forced to.
You're forced to, but they're tournament standards.
Yeah.
Because you do need them to do these. Like, I'm not saying bring 20 of them in a squad, but maybe 2 squads of 10, or 2 squads of 5, or 3 squads of 5.
You can't take them into squads of 5.
You can't? So it's minimum 10?
It's minimum 10.
Okay.
But if you have the transport and you have 2 transports in 1 unit, you can combat squad them.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't do that because you want to take the med pack upgrade. It's 5 points, and once a turn, you can reduce a damage to 0.
Yeah.
Which is really nice, and
That's
you
right.
can revive them. If they have the med pack keyword, for 1 CP, you can revive D3. So I thought of one dumb idea. Let's say if the guy's hiding behind cover, stick the rail rifle out so he could shoot. Unit gets shot at back. Couple guys die, and now they're back in cover, and you kill the rail rifle. When you revive them, just revive the rail rifle.
Yeah.
So now you just go out, shoot. Now that it's hard for them to shoot back because you kill one and you just kill them into cover, and you revive them back.
So I have them as tournament standard. Where do you have them?
You literally need them. Every detachment essentially needs 2 choices.
Put them at the bottom of tournament standard, but they're going to be in every tournament list. So to say that they're not going to be up there is ridiculous.
You might see an army without them, but why?
Yeah. Take 2 of them and leave it to 10, and you just throw it on objectives in the back, screen out the backfield.
They are slow.
They are very slow. You're not going to move these guys up very far. Those guns are effective, but like you said, are you going to get this in range? No, because you have better things.
Short range and slow.
Yeah.
The leader does have 2 wounds, and you could give relics to the some relics to the leader. But why would you?
You don't have to take them. We can take detachments that don't require troops. But I think
you don't get your CP back for those ones.
And OPSEC,
it's OPSEC. It's one of their 2 OPSEC units.
Exactly. You need some OPSEC in the game. You're going to have to bring these guys. You want them on your backfield at least.
Yeah.
I have them at the bottom of tournament standard. If you have them in anywhere else, speak now.
Yeah, what do you guys think?
Let us know if you think they're lower, but I think the tournament standards. Let's go to the next ones. One of my favorite, Hearthguard.
I love these guys.
Unfortunately, I don't have them as they're not going to be, you're not going to see them in every list.
You can make...
I'm going to take it in my list, multiple units.
I'm probably going to as well.
But are they tournament standards?
I could see a couple play styles where you don't use them at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're good. They're Terminator equivalents. They just don't have many wounds. Terminators are 3 wounds. These guys are 2 wounds.
Yeah.
That's a little iffy.
Like I said, I'm going to use them for the R&D. Putting them on the board, doing actions, using a stratagem so they can shoot and do an action. They'll be doing Nephilim. They'll be doing getting my engage on all fronts. They can 2 units of 5 of these can go a long way.
Surprisingly enough, they could go up to 10.
Yeah, but you're not going to want to take that. It's not needed, and it's too expensive.
They're 35 points each.
Yeah.
I'd actually say to replace their plasma gun with the Volkite gun. Since it's triple.
It's not Volkite. It's Vulcanite. It's a little bit different. It works a little bit differently too. The mortal wounds happen on the. Doesn't the mortals happen on the hit?
Time an attack is made with this weapon, an unmodified hit roll of 6.
Yeah, so that's different.
So you can't stack it with judgment.
And you can't proc it. Yeah, you can't proc it with judgment. So it's going to happen on the hits, and it has to be unmodified as well. So it's pretty good.
With 5 guys, that's 15 shots.
Yep.
So you're going to get 2 or 3 mortals.
Yep. It's not bad. But again, you're not spamming this out because of that. It's just good to have that. And it's. I think you can take that for free.
Yeah, you can replace the plasma gun with that.
The plasma guns are great too. Strength 8, -4, 2 damage. You might not even want to, but they're 1 shot each.
They're 1 shot each.
And you can't overcharge these, but they do 2 damage, so you don't need to.
Safe plasma.
Yeah.
They are a little bit longer range, 6 more inches over the Vulcanite. Yep. But if these guys are going to teleport in, or you're taking them in a land fortress and moving them up, when are they ever going to be more than 18 inches away from an enemy?
Yeah.
And they already have high AP, high damage on their melee weapons where you want them.
Yeah.
So having some chaff cleaner with the Vulcanite, I think that's good.
If you're using them for chaff cleaning, then go with the Vulcanite. You have more shots, you're doing mortals, things like that. But I think the better weapon, in my opinion, is the plasma gun, even though it is 1 shot. You're getting 5 if you bring a unit of 5. You're doing 2 damage. You're killing Marines. AP -4. That's going to be great against your Armor of Contempt, which seems like everybody's getting Armor of Contempt. Even Guard have it now. So Justin did not change my mind on that. I do like what he was saying with the Vulcanite. I'm just still a fan of the Plasma. But again, you heard what we said we're going to be doing with this unit. Not as they're more tactical. Doing, for me at least, they're going to be doing like all my behind the scenes kind of operations, and they can take a punch. If you do take a league that gives them +1 toughness, remember we can get these guys to toughness 7 if we wanted to. That is gonna be crazy.
It's insane.
They're literally walking tanks at that point. And yeah, you could take the Invuln League that gives you their 4-up, because they're a 2-up save, right? So they'd have a 4-up Invuln, 2-up save, and then you can fortify them as well. So they have a 6-up Invuln. Feel no pain, sorry. You can make them walking tanks. They can do your stuff in the backfield. I like them. I mean, do you have anything else you want to say about them?
They're -1 damage as well.
And they're -1 damage,
so if you shoot an autocannon at them, just 1 damage each.
Yeah, so I have them in, with all that being said, I have them in strong. I don't have them in every list, but I love them. Like, for me, they're a tournament standard. Do you agree? Would you say they're situational or strong or tournament standard? Because they're not a bad choice.
Middle strong, I'd say.
So in between?
I like them more than the Iron Master, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I love the Iron Master. Okay, I agree, because not everybody's going to take a vehicle-based list. So, and by vehicles, I mean like the big stuff, like the buggies and the Land Fortress, and that's where the Iron Master really comes in to shine, is like healing all that stuff. So I agree with that. We'll put these guys ahead there. Let's go on to the next one. The Berserks, not Berserkers, Berserks. I don't like them. You tried to change my mind and it did not work.
Yesterday you said I liked them. After I did 1 game with them, don't like them.
So you didn't listen to me. You had to learn the hard way. Is that what you're saying?
I wanted to try them. The first game, I tried a bit of everything to see how it worked.
Makes sense.
Oh my god, the Berserkers. Sure, they charged 1 thing, did okay. Mm-hmm. But oh my god, did they throw? Like, they're 6+ save. Mm-hmm. So AP2 goes right through.
Yeah.
5+ Feel No Pain is nice. 4+ against damage 1. But everything in the game now is multiple damage, because you got to fight Space Marines and Armor of Contempt and just all this wound stuff, all these elites.
Yeah.
They just get chewed through.
Like, they're good in close combat. Like, are they great?
No.
Are they great? We again, back to the yesterday stream, in perfect situations, in perfect scenarios where you take I forgot what the league is, but the one that gives you shock assault, basically, +1 attack, +1 strength.
It's better shock assault.
It's better shock assault. They could be a little bit better in that situation, because the sweep attacks, I really like the sweep attacks, because if they did have that additional attack, that'd be 4, that turned into 8.
Yes.
And if you take a unit of 10, now you're just paper cut, like death by numbers. You're just sheer like weight of dice. You're just playing the odds.
So, because it's AP3.
It's AP3, but it's 1 damage at that point. So,
but you're cutting through most stuff.
Yeah, you're going through like most things. Like Space Marines will still have to make a 5-up save. So
Judgment as well on top.
Yeah.
Like.
Yep, Judgment would come into effect.
Judgment is for hits, like in ranged and shooting.
Yeah.
So
ranged
even if you don't have a melee weapon.
You said ranged and shooting.
Yes, ranged and shooting.
Ranged and melee.
Yep.
Yeah.
You could punch a tank and wound it on 4s to hit. They're just that angry.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so what do you think? Now, you love them. You didn't love them, but you...
I thought they were cool.
You wanted to use them, basically. We tried to make them viable. I think there's still ways you can, but you have to... They would be your focus if you did that.
You have to really try with these guys to make them worth the point cost.
Yeah.
They're 22 points each.
But why would you do this when there's
Hearthguard?
No, and yeah, like Votann do so many things way better than this. I wouldn't even waste my time with this. I would say this is a do not take.
If they had like 1 more inch of movement, then I'd say they're probably good. But they're the same movement as every other dwarf. When most armies, when they get a melee version of something, it gets like an extra inch or 2 to movement. These guys get to reroll charges, but 5-inch movement. And if you advance, they don't have advance and charge. So they could go at best 8 if you advance, but then you can't charge.
Do you think I have them here, changed my mind.
I would say bad choice. I don't think they're don't take.
Yeah.
They're
Why?
definitely bad choice.
Why are they a bad choice and not don't take?
Because like you said, if you focus on them, you can make them work. You could give them a 5-up invuln from the call. You could make them bonuses to hit. They can destroy whatever they touch. It's just hard to get them there.
Yeah. So I think you're right. Yeah, like if you focus on them, you can make them actually decent. So, okay, bad choice.
Yeah.
Bottom of bad choice, though.
Yes.
That joke's not working. But listen, they're not as stumpy as the other guys. That's one thing. They're a little taller. The models are nice. They're bigger.
They're the Slayers.
Yeah.
In fantasy, I love the dwarves, the Dawi, and I love playing Slayers. So seeing those guys, I just fell in love with them.
Yeah.
And I played them, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, you want them to be good. Like you always want close combat to be good with any army. It's not that it's not good. It just doesn't. There's better things, like I said, you're not going to want to take the league that's going to make them better. If you want to focus on 3 units of that, put them in buggies or put them in land fortresses, and then dump them places and just shred. You could. I've seen people do that with Repentia in
Sisters.
In the Sisters armies. It doesn't work that well. Like there's better things Sisters can do, and I feel it's the same thing for
I think
for
it
them.
works better for Sisters since
it does.
They have a lot of ways to make it work.
Yeah.
Well, Votann are kind of limited.
Maybe maybe it'll change when we start seeing more units or things coming in for this army. So yeah, let's leave them a bad choice. I don't disagree with that. Moving on to the next unit is the Sagittar.
Yep.
This is the first of the fast attacks. There are only 2 fast attack units in this list. So first one, let's talk about these buggies here.
I used to really not like them. Like when I first saw this, I'm like, oh cool, nice fast attack, whatever. Skip.
Yeah.
And then Justin told me all this stuff you could do with it.
Yeah. You want to talk about it?
They're toughness 7. They're 9 wounds, which is important.
Yeah.
They don't degrade.
They don't degrade. No.
And you can make them toughness 8 with that league. They are 3-up save. I just like their guns as well. I would take the beam cannon off because that's 20 extra points and replace it with just the bear one. I think autocannon is like 6 shots, decent, whatever. It's just putting units in there and moving up, and it goes 12 inches. Mm-hmm. It's fast as hell, and it's just nice. It's tanky. It's the little bug boy going around.
The little bug boy. So where do you have? With that being said, like. And you can make them. Did you talk about how you can make them T8?
Yep.
Like we know what we can do with this. We can give it a 5-up invo, certain leagues.
You could buff it with the Iron Master that you like.
Yep. You can give them a 6-up feel no pain. You can give them toughness 8.
Well, I think the most important part is the.
You can make it toughness 9 actually.
You can make it No, you can't. Grimnir can't.
Oh, he can't. That's right. Yeah, that's not core.
It's not core character.
So toughness 8, but still, that's ridiculous for
Toughness
this little buggy running around.
It's the most important part. It's an accelerated keyword, which means you can
additional
advance
6.
it auto 6, or do the stratagem to move an extra 12.
Yeah.
So now you have this little buggy going 24 inches across the board. That's toughness 8 with 9 wounds.
And it does it shoot? It has some decent guns on it.
The base guns are the beam weapon and the twin bolt cannon. I'd replace the beam gun with the autocannon since it's 6 shots instead of 2. Beam is nice, but I don't want to pay 20 points for a transport.
Yeah. No.
It's already 110. Why make it 130?
Mm-hmm. I still stick with that. It's super situational.
Yeah. It would work well with the berserkers.
Yeah, it can work well in a lot of situations, but I don't think you're going to take this most of the time. I think there's other things that work a lot better.
Yeah.
I think bottom is situational. Right now?
Yep. It is only 5 transport capacity.
Yeah. Yes, that's another thing, right? It's like, and you can only bring what? Hearthguard around with this. Sorry, the Warriors.
Basically, the Warriors, the Call.
The Call,
anything that is an exo armor or exo frame.
Would you want to get your Call around in this little, like, personal, like, I call it like the Pope wagon?
The Pope wagon? It depends. If you need to bring the Call around to, like, buff another unit, it'd be fine. Because the Call is slow, 5 inches like everyone else.
Yes. Okay. So we agree. Situational, and it could probably be used in some situations as a strong unit. But I think we have it in the way we've been playing in the last couple weeks. I think it's situational. Let's move on to the second one, which you spam the crap out of.
I love these guys too. I keep saying that a lot. I love
these guys. There's only 12 units. You love all of them. Just buy them.
These guys are nice since they're OBSEC. It's the Pioneers. And it was the first combo I saw when I was looking through the book. I'm like, wait, these are OBSEC. Oh, you could go to 6. Oh, you could give them a 5+ Fiona, 5+ invuln.
So for the fact that they're a bike unit and they're OBSEC, only 2 OBSEC units in this entire codex, how you have to take them. Like they're fast, they're bikes, they have 3 wounds apiece, you can spam 6 of them, they're T5, you can make them T6, you can make them T7, you can give them invulns, you can give them feel no pains.
If you take the scanner or the searchlight, they have a lot of shots. Base, they come with like a shotgun and an autocannon.
Yep.
So that's 5 shots from each model. And there's a stratagem where if you hit a unit, they get a judgment token. Hit. You don't have to wound them. You don't have to do damage to them.
Yep.
Which is really nice. With 3 guys, it's 15 shots. Imagine not hitting. At worst, you can hit on 4s. Another
thing is they're for what they can do, and they're like, let's not go overboard here. Their shooting is not like anything crazy here. Like they have a few good weapons that you can take, but they're going to get more expensive. They're cheap. You can take 18, like we said, for 500 points.
540 points. They're 30 points
crazy.
A model.
That is crazy for what they do.
If anything, I would even say get the scanner and searchlight on each unit. It's like an extra 15 points per unit.
Yeah.
And now you could do one of the secondaries where you scan an objective.
Yeah.
And if you have a scanner, you add 1 to roll, which means on a 5+, you get an extra 3 points one time.
So I have these guys. I think they're going to be in every list.
They only have 2 fast attacks.
They have 2 fast attacks, and they have. It's not even the fast attack. They have 2 OBSEC units in the entire codex. Why wouldn't you want one of those OBSEC units to be one of your fastest and tankiest units? Or versatile, let's just say that, because they're maybe not the tankiest, but they're very versatile.
They're accelerated, so you could do that auto 12-inch advance. They have concussion, so you can make someone move half range, half movement, and can't overwatch.
The pre-movement.
They have the pre-game movement of 12 inches.
Yeah, you can get these guys anywhere you want on the board. Like literally get them anywhere you want. You can position them in cover, you can move them, you can engage on all fronts. The only thing about them that maybe could have been a little bit better is the fact that they could have a little bit better firepower. Then they'd be really, really dumb.
I don't think that's the weak part. I think the weak part is the 4+ save.
You want to make it like a 3-up?
If it was a 3-up, they'd be amazing.
If it was a 3-up, they'd be Space Marines.
Yeah. Well, it's a bike. They're
They're normally what, 4-up?
The Warriors are 4-up.
4-up. So you have to make these guys are more. They're just on a bike. They're tougher, but they're not. The armor's not any better. But, so I agree with it.
There's a lot they could do.
They're -1 to hit. Did you mention that?
Oh, there's a stratagem.
It's not a strat.
It is a strat.
It's a strat.
It's a mag rail something. They're -1 to hit, and if you advance, you can't reroll hit rolls. So you can't reroll hit rolls against them. Can't reroll wound rolls. They're -1 to hit.
I thought they were built. Damage. I thought they were built in a -1 to hit.
No, it's a strat.
It's just 1 strat. So 1 unit can be -1 to hit.
Yep.
Okay. So you use that differently on me. You said they were all -1 to hit initially.
I told you they can be -1 to hit.
Okay. I think you cheated.
I don't cheat. I don't cheat.
Okay. That's fine. I don't even think we even played a game that day. I think you were trying to show that they can survive a barrage of Dire Avengers with all their buffs and stuff. And yeah, you can't doom the target. You can't doom them.
Yep.
Because you don't get rerolls. I can fortune them, get them hitting higher and stuff. But yeah, that being said, where do you want them? Where do you think?
If you hold back a turn and then move up to take the objectives really high up, I was dumb and moved them up turn 1, which just opened up to a whole enemy army to fire at them.
That's where I put them. That's where I think, unless you think differently. What do you think? I think they're better than the Warriors.
Oh, by far. The Warriors are just nice. You have to take like 1 or 2. These guys you want to take 3.
All right. I like the bikes. They're so cool. Really cool. And another thing was you spammed that, like, I don't know, would you take, so you took 3 units of 6. Let's just talk about this right now. Would you do that again in the tournament? Would you bring that?
No, I'd probably do 3 units of 4 or 5.
So first off, because when I looked at the board, like I said to Justin, the entire board was Hearthguard. I mean, Votann.
Votann.
They were all Votann.
Yep.
and it was like all your bikes. You had 18 bikes. You had warriors in the back. It was just like this whole table of Votann, and I'm just like, how much did that cost you? He's like, oh, that's only 500 points. I'm like, it's crazy. And also, you had so many in Deep Strike. It was insane.
Yeah, with their pregame move, it also doesn't say you can't enter the enemy's deployment zone. You just have to be 9 inches away from an enemy model. So like, if some reason they don't
that's great.
cover their deployment zone, you could go in.
You can go inside the deployment.
That's potentially a turn 1 behind enemy lines.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy. They're a definite tournament standard. And that being said, we were talking about how...
well, we're talking about all these great units. Let's go to a not great unit.
Yeah, let's go to a unit that maybe is not going to be taken very often. The... what are they called? The Thunderkin. The ones that can be healed.
Yeah, the ones that can be healed. They're exoframe.
Yeah, they're basically a walking vehicle.
They're dwarves on stilts.
They are. That's what they are. Yeah.
It's just,
not a baby carriage, but...
Not a baby carriage.
But almost, like halfway there. And it looks like they have, like, their guns, what do these remind you of?
Space Marines?
No. Well, sort of, yeah, I guess so.
Havocs? I don't know.
They remind me of, sort of remind me of the old, I don't know if you remember the old, they kind of put them down with the, what do they call the...
Like graviton stuff?
No. It'll come back to me. Those grav cannons.
Grav cannon. Yeah, it's a grav cannon.
Yeah.
It has the same rules.
It does, but it reminds me of the old models. Like, you know, remember the old Space Marine models with the grav cannon? Like, that's what it just reminds me of, the way they're holding at the pose and everything. But either way.
They're dwarves on stilts, and wow, was I disappointed with these guys. I'm not saying I love them for once. I was disappointed. I will just outright say it.
The weapons, what really makes you mad about them is the weapons?
The base weapon is a bolt cannon, which is, wow, that's not
3 shots, good. Hunter 3, Strength 6, AP -2, which is AP -1 versus a lot of stuff.
And then you can replace it for free with the blast cannon.
Yeah.
But with the graviton blast cannon, which is Strength 5, AP 3, damage 2, against 3+, it's 3 damage.
Yeah.
18-inch range. These guys also move 5 inches. They're 3 for like transport. They count as 3 models.
Yeah.
And their conversion beam, you have to pay an extra 5 points for. It's pretty nice.
Let me get to that. The conversion beamer is like their best gun, so why wouldn't you?
It is a beam weapon.
Yep.
So you can just target the farthest unit to hit as many as possible.
Yep.
And over 15 inches away, it counts as 1 additional hit,
which means, and it's just an automatic. It just gets thrown in.
Yep.
So why wouldn't you take this weapon for 5 points when these ones are just like meh?
Exactly, but it's just overall they're so meh.
Can I just speak about how much I hate D6?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Do not take weapons that are that swingy. And especially, can you imagine a mirror match of D6? You roll bad for how many shots you get, then you have to roll to hit and then roll to wound, and you can't re-roll any of those wounds. You're in trouble, and that unit's not, like, they're not expensive. Like, how much are these guys?
No,
how much are they?
I think they cost as much as a Hearthguard.
Are they?
Thunderkin, 35 points.
35 points a model?
They cost as much as a Hearthguard.
So they're not crazy expensive.
Much more disappointing.
But you can spam them then, because they're pretty cheap.
They're less spammable than Hearthguard.
Because you could take...
They're 3 to 6. Hearthguard are 5 to 10.
Yeah.
And their guns aren't long. They're not that long range. You got to keep them back so that you get the full effect of the conversion beam. So if you want to weaken these guys, you actually approach them. They don't have melee weapons, and they're only 3 wounds, and they're 3+ save. Like, just
there will be people that spam these conversion beamers.
They're gonna try, and I
guarantee you there will be, and I don't think it'll. Like I said, you agreed it won't work.
It's just.
I can be really, really wrong right now, but I think this is like, don't even waste your time with these guys.
Yeah. They're, for what you
watch somebody take 18 of them, and it's going to win tournaments, and then we look so stupid. But
I don't think so.
I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. It's also the fact that they're slow as hell.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with all these guys on the board? Even if you bring 3, and be modest about it, and you just bring 2 units of 3 with these guys, it's pretty cheap, or 1 unit of 3 or 5, whatever. Is it that effective? Are 5 conversion beamers that worth it? Like 3 damage. You're going to get maybe, if you keep them more than 15, they're going to be extra hits here and there. So you're going to probably make up for some of the misses. So
Here's the thing.
you're going to do what, 6 damage a turn with these guys?
They have
AP
to
minus
hit.
2? Exactly.
Not only they have to hit, so they have to see the enemy, and if you get closer, it turns off the extra ability.
It's league, man. You're going to have your judgments.
You have the judgments.
So 4s will be automatic. And
Also, the extra hit you have to roll to wound on.
Yeah.
Because it skips the judgment step. I don't know. It's just.
It doesn't say unmodified hit. It just says a hit.
Yeah.
So if you're -1 to hit and things like that, won't affect it, right? If you give them like +1 to hit.
It says if that unit was hit.
Because they're core.
Yeah.
So you can give them +1 to hit.
Yes.
So it doesn't have, you can modify the roll and then it still counts. So it doesn't say on an unmodified roll. So.
But if it's -1 now and you're hitting on 4s, you roll 3, you don't get the extra hit.
Right, but you can make them hit on 2s, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then if you bring 6, that's going to be pretty good because hitting on 2s, this says you can make them actually pretty good.
I don't know.
I'm changing my mind as soon as the gears are turning.
It's just so there's so much effort.
And when I say good, I mean like situational. I don't mean like you're going to see them in lists. But
there's so much you have to do to make them viable.
Yeah, it's true. Like if I have to think this hard to make you useful, you just don't.
Like look at the Pioneers. We just looked at it and immediately went like, oh my god, look at all this stuff.
There's just better things. That's exactly right. Like there's just better things in the Codex. To our last unit, if you can believe it, and it took us an hour to do it.
Unfortunately, it's not the train.
Yeah, it's not the train.
It's close enough.
The land fortress. Or short form Hecaton.
Hecaton Land Fortress.
Yeah, the Hecaton. So Hecaton, yeah, it's huge. It's literally a fortress. Justin likes them.
I like them.
Justin has them. Let's not spoil it. We'll talk about it after. But what do you like about them?
It's pretty fast, 10 inches. It can transport a lot. It's 12 transport capacity. So you can put Hearthguard in there, like a squad of 6.
Yeah.
Its mag gun is free. You could replace the beam on top with the mag gun.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you like?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because with Judgment and what we were talking about yesterday, Greater Thurian League, make the 6 automatic hit. So, and just get 1 Judgment point on them. Look at that. Damage carries over. It's 2d3 plus 6 damage. That is 8 to 12 damage carrying over into a unit. Oh my god.
You take 3 of these.
At best, I'd say 2.
You would be crippled with points if you took 3 of these.
They're 230 points, which isn't that expensive. It's just,
You'd spend like a good, you'd be like, if you don't have any other upgrades, you'd be like 700.
I don't think you need the other warheads.
You'll be around 700 points with 3 of these, but they're so tough.
I said other warheads because I wanted to mention the warheads are all kind of pointless to take.
Yeah, don't take the warheads.
It's to keep the scanner, so your scanner unit, and you get you ignore light cover. Yeah, you ignore light cover, which is really nice, especially with the mag rifle.
Yeah.
Or mag cannon, and the warheads are just like 1 shot and meh. It's also accelerated, so you could auto advance to 12.
I say these are going to be taken a lot.
Yeah, you can make it toughness 9.
Some people are going to say they're tournament standards. Where do you have them?
If it's tournament standard, I'd say bottom of tournament standard, top of strong, because they're good.
Justin has them tournament standard.
Yeah.
Does he?
I believe so.
Yeah. Justin has them. So you had them in strong.
Yes.
I had them in like bottom of strong, mid strong. Justin had them bottom of tournament standards.
So to prepare for this, we all made our own tier list.
Yeah.
I'll wrote down our notes of what we think.
We've played a lot of it, by the way. Like we've play tested this a lot now.
Yeah.
Like we've played a lot of games with them, and we know what works in our minds and what looks good on paper, and then what actually works on the table.
Yeah.
And it could change as you go. Like remember, there's different ways.
We didn't fight every army.
Exactly. You have to fight more than 5 or 6 armies. We have to try this against Smites. Try this against Thousand Suns or Demons. That's one game I wanted to play against was Demons.
Against Clowns, it really hurt since a lot of the damage was 2 damage and a lot of mortal wounds. So it really hurt.
So this one really is hard for me, but I'm going to say I would be okay with putting this at the bottom of tournament standard, but I'm okay putting it in the middle of strong as well. So that's how far I can move with this.
I'd say strong because we already have a lot of tournament standard.
Yeah, but it's a short codex. Yeah,
it is a short codex with a lot of strong stuff.
So Do you like them? Do you like it here, or do you like it better? You want it at the top here. What do you think? Because I think these are so strong. Like, you're going to take one of these at least.
Yeah.
Right?
I think it's fine there. Because they are good. You will take them with autocannon.
And I think it's here, honestly. I think they're more situation. I think the, what's his name? The Forge Master?
Forge Master would be great with this guy.
Yeah, like, they're great, but this is more of a situation. The Forge Master is more like, I'm taking a lot of vehicles. I'm gonna need him.
Yeah.
He's great, though. He's like, I almost want to put the Forge Master in must take.
In must take?
Yeah.
Well, for my playstyle, he wouldn't really work.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Some people will not have a lot of vehicles, and he's not going to be useful. But I think that works. Yeah. So, like we said, it hasn't been play tested. We've play tested it for a couple weeks. That's nothing. We want to be playing more armies. Right now, this is where we have it. Yeah. You want to do another Votann ranking maybe in a month, and see if our minds have changed?
A month or two. Check how it does in the rankings. See their win rate.
Guys, let us know what you think, because this is early on right now. This Codex is not even out. Like, we have early access to this, and we're looking at these units. We're playing games early, and when this comes out in about a month or just a little less than a month, people are going to start playtesting it everywhere. You're going to see that tournaments. You're going to see every situation these guys are going to be thrown in, and things are going to move. Things are going to move for sure.
You never know what to expect when you have thousands of people trying it instead of like 10 games.
Also, I'm anticipating a few nerfs.
Oh, definitely. I don't feel Judgment will be nerfed, but something's going to be nerfed.
Something's going to be nerfed. We know it's going to happen. It's going to happen. But yeah, that's what we think. Anything else?
You know what I really want to see?
What?
A Votann mirror match. Because they both have so many ways to reroll.
Can't reroll anything. Just reroll nothing.
And they're fighting each other, and they're just bare bones now. It'd be funny.
Right off the bat, I think that is probably going to be one of the things they'll remove, because it's just so many buffs for them. It's just crazy. They turn off so many things.
Because would you say that's non-interactive? It's just turning. It's like, oh, here's my army. Here's all my buffs. You get none of it.
Yeah. Like,
Tower crippled against these guys. You don't get reroll hit. Like, if you're shooting the bikes, can't reroll hits. You can't reroll your wounds, which Tower really need. You can't reroll damage.
I like the not rerolling. They did that with the Salamanders. We saw that happen when they buffed everything else with Armor of Contempt, and then they give Salamanders, you can't reroll wounds against them.
Yeah.
So it's not as strong as you think, but against certain armies, it's crippling.
Yeah.
So GW has to be very careful when they make these kinds of rules, because they're thinking, like, do you want to literally go into a match and be like, you know what, like back in the day or not that long ago in 8th edition, when demons played against Grey Knights, they had no chance. Grey Knights had no chance against demons, because I can just bring back a unit like that with my stratagems against Grey Knights. I can I'm down to one model of Plague Bearers. Guess what? For 3 CP, I can bring back 20 Plague Bearers, 30 Plague Bearers.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know this.
So, and that's only against them. So they kind of took a lot of slack for that, because making an army, especially for the competitive scene, it works great for lore, and when you're playing fun with your friends, like, these guys hate each other, this is what it would happen in lore. But in the competitive scene, when you can't control these types of things, and I just suck against you because your army's better against this army, you don't want that in competitive play, because you know how it is with video games. It's the same thing. It just it turns the meta into like...
It's going to be weird, because sure, 80% of armies are going to be fine against these guys, but that 20% of armies where they need all that stuff, just give up at the start almost.
I don't think it's that level of nerf that they need, because like we saw Space Clowns, how stupid that was, and they took a hammer and they still are good. So I think it'll be I think there'll be a few things they'll tone down with this, but it won't be anything crazy.
They're top heavy.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
But either way, thanks for joining us. This is the last day of the league of the Votann week. Let us know. We can throw in some more couch talks, or we can do a game pretty soon, and you guys can watch how this actually functions on the table. Maybe we'll do a League of Votann battle report coming up after these next 3 that are coming out, because we have 3 battle reports, Monday night matchups coming out. I'm not going to talk about them all, because there's so many great guests we had on. We just released the Scary one. Scary was great.
If you want to hint at one of the future ones, just look in the background.
What's in the background?
The table. You might be able to see something.
Are you talking about the knight?
No, the like actual
Oh,
table.
that table.
Yeah, the black table.
That table. Yeah. That table.
You might see something.
Oh yeah. Okay, I can see what you're talking about.
Yep.
Zoom in, guys. We'll see you next time. We're Northern Knights Gaming. Thanks for joining us. This is the Votann tier ranking. Let us know in the comments if you think any different. We're always open to suggestions. Remember, this is our opinion. It's not like the Bible over here. We're not like, go by this, but this is where we think, and we've play tested it for more than I think a lot of people have. So
it's subject to change in the future.
Of course, yeah.
Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, it really helps us out, guys. We appreciate all the support. See you guys next time. Take care.